season, man. College football. So excited. Ohio State, once again, man, ranked top 10 preseason, by the coaches. Coaches poll just came out, number 6. I have a really good feeling that we'll move up due to numerous SEC and Big 12 teams being up there. I see Alabama and Florida play each other. One of those teams are going to lose. In my opinion, it'll be Alabama that loses. So Ohio State will move up from there. We'll beat USC. You heard it here first. We will beat USC. Have a feeling, the 106,000 people that'll be in Ohio Stadium, plus Terrell Pryor, Boom Herron. That offense is going to be too much for that defense that's losing 8 starters. Our defense, will probably be tested a little bit due to, all those running backs coming back. But, if we can stop whoever their quarterback is going to be, we'll be fine. We've always been pretty good at stopping the run. So, hopefully Sabino and Thad Gibson, Jamil Hines will be in there stopping that run too. Pig off a couple of Mr. Core's passes. But anyways, I'm here to talk about the Ohio State-Navy game. Can't wait for this season. Been looking forward to this Navy game for a while. I think Ohio State-Navy, it's going to be a better game than most people expect. We haven't really lived up to our superior teams lately. Ohio, Akron. I think Navy will start off. They could give us a test. I don't think they will. I just think Ohio State's. I honestly think this year's team is better than last year's. I know that we're losing a lot of talent on defense, and we are losing Mr. Beanie Wells. But Terrell Pryor is going to be 5-10 times better than he was last year. Everything that I'm hearing is he's looking better and better and he's getting smarter as time goes by, and that's going to be better. That's going to be a lot better for the situation that we were in. There's no quarterback controversy at all this year. It's Terrell's job. He's definitely not going to give it up to Mr. Bowserman or Kenny Guyton, the true freshman. So the running backs, replacing Beanie, I don't think it's going to be that tough of a job. Boom Herron, if you watched him any last year, you know that this guy is for real and that he is going to, be the man. He might not be as big as Beanie, but he carries just as big of a punch as Beanie does. Tough as nails, fast. I think Navy we'll just come out on all cylinders firing out. I see Ohio State winning pretty handily, 49-6. Navy gets 2 field goals. Our defense, I'm just happy about the way that it's looking. The only big question that I see is with the cornerbacks. Chimdi Chekwa, he's a shoe-in starter. Now, who do we have at the other starter? It's hard to tell right now. There's Devon Torrance, Andre Amos, and there might be a couple of freshmen mixing in a little bit. Corey Brown, C.J. Barnett. I'm really excited about Corey Brown. Sorry, I think he's going to be a really good guy. He can play offense and defense. Kind of reminds me of Chris Gamble. Happy to get him. Linebackers. The big question right now is Sabino or Spittler. In my opinion, it's Sabino. He watched his games last year, on special teams, and when he did substitute in on defense, man, he has the makings of being a beast. Now Spittler, I like Spittler too, but I don't see him as a starter on this team. Love the hit that he gave on the running back McGuffey from Michigan last year, man. I can watch that all the time. Put that on the DVR, rewind and rewind. It's a nice hit by Mr. Spittler. The other 2 linebackers, it's really, really tough to say who they are right now. But I know whoever is playing, will be good because we do have the depth at Ohio State at linebacker. Whether it's Dorian Bell or Storm Klein, the 2 freshmen. I don't think any of them will be like in the mix for the starter, but they might be seeing some time. Ryan Roll, Tyler Muller, and Ross Holman will be my three guys that I look forward to seeing, substituting in at that outside linebacker spot. You never know. You might even see Mr. Jamel Hines switching in a linebacker from, the safety. Thad Gibson, the defensive line. It's probably the best defensive line that I've ever seen at Ohio State, and that does include the 2002-2003 defensive line with Will Smith. That was a good defensive line, but I think this year with the depth that we have, we're in the makings of seeing a really good defense this year. Ohio State, I see the Buckeyes. People are going to get on me probably for this, but I really see the Buckeyes going undefeated this year. I think USC and Penn State will be the two tests. But when you think about it, I just mentioned earlier in the show about the holes that USC has on defense and quarterback. Lose Patrick Turner at wide receiver. I know you guys got Damian Williams back too, but I just don't think that with the people that they're losing and playing in a night game in Columbus, Ohio, I just don't think that USC will. I mean, they'll show up, of course, but I don't know what they'll bring when they do show up. Still think Ohio State will get this. Terrell Pryor's not going to allow those Buckeyes to lose it to USC again. Now, I do see Terrell Pryor, Tressel mixing up with this offense a little bit, putting Pryor at receiver a little bit, throwing to the tight ends a little bit more with Stoneburner out there, running that 4.3 40 at tight end, 240 pounds now. I just think it's going to be a good year for the Buckeyes. Now, Penn State playing at Happy Valley, I think Penn State will be more of a test than USC. But with the receivers that Penn State's losing and the cornerback that Ohio State losing, it'll be a pretty even matchup. But I just see Ohio State coming out again, attacking that defense. They lost a couple of players on defense, their defensive line. I just really like what I see from the Buckeyes this year. Oh, yeah, Michigan. I don't even have to go there. Plan on going to that game up in Ann Arbor this year. But it's really not going to be a contest. It really won't. I don't see it being a contest again until Rich Rod's out. I think we'll go to the national championship. Possibly. I don't know if Florida will be there or not. I always tell people this. I think Florida's going to lose at least a game this year in the SEC. Alabama might get them. I already said earlier that I think Florida will beat them. But, Georgia, I know they lost a lot of players. LSU, Ole Miss with Jevin Sneed. It's just going to be a tough battle, for Florida. I mean, it's a lot tougher for them to go undefeated this year. All in all, I think it'll be Ohio State and Florida in that national championship game. Buckeyes getting revenge. Don't know who will win the game, but I do know that Terrell Pryor will be in the final three of the Heisman. I do see everybody already talks about Tebow, Bradford, and McCoy being the Heisman Trophy frontrunners. I do think one of those three will fall out of the top three, and TP will be in there, for his passing, running, and receiving. Ultimately, I think Colt McCoy will win the award. I'm praying for Archie Griffin's sake, but I think TP will make a big run for it this year. And once again, I see Ohio State versus Navy, 49-6, with the Buckeyes coming out glorious. Until the week of USC, this has been Chris Moore. Look forward to the Navy game, and I'll be back on the Wednesday before the USC game. Stay tuned and go Buckeyes.